Hello everyone, I'm Morton Kanan, and this is episode 6 of my Regrowth Let's Play series. In between episodes, I spent some time expanding my wall, so I've made some room for more farms and some of the other things that we'll be building soon. In this episode, I want to try to get some of the materials that are needed to kind of expand into tech. To do that, we're going to want to tackle the quests that are in What the World is Made of. I'm going to turn in this dye seed quest. Take the essence. And next on the list is Cuperous Conduction. This is the quest that'll lead into getting copper seeds. Now, if we look at the recipe for copper seeds, we'll see that I'm going to have to do that quest multiple times. It requires 4 of this essence of copper, and if we look at this quest in the book here, we'll see that it rewards a single essence of copper. That quest is going to take 16 clay, 16 floral orange powder, and 4 weak essence, and I'm going to have to turn this quest in 4 times in order to get enough of the essence of copper to be able to craft the seeds. This is a repeatable quest. Its refresh rate is 2 days, which means it's going to take a little while to come back around. So I've collected the resources needed to do this over here in this chest. I'm going to get myself the 16 clay, 16 orange powder, and the 4 weak essence. Now, the clay orange powder came from the Botania plant, of course. The clay I used the Clayconia to make, and the weak essence has been coming out of my essence farm. So I will turn this quest in. It's going to remove those items from my inventory, give me the that. It's also going to unlock a couple other quests. So these operate in a similar way. So we got Carbon Connection, which wants 16 charcoal, 16 floral black powder, and 6 weak essence. And Ferric Fidelity, which wants red sand, floral gray powder, and weak essence. These we're going to need to do 3 times. Unlike the copper, they only need 3 of the essence. So I also put those aside. So let me collect these. And we will turn those in. Now, as you see, these are on cooldown, so it'll be a little while before I can turn them in again, and that has unlocked Stanic Sentimentality, which, again, 16 slate, 16 floral light gray powder, and 12 weak essence. So again, I've put that aside. Slate you can craft just by combining 4 flint. So let's turn that in. So now these are all on cooldown. What I'm gonna do is I am going to cut the video here, and I'll be back when I'm done turning all of these in and I have collected enough of each of the essences to go on to crafting the seeds. Be right back. Alright, I have finished turning in those quests and collected the essence, so why don't we move on to creating some of the plants we're going to need. So why don't we start with the coal, which is going to be 3 coal essence, a piece of charcoal, 4 weak essence, and an essence seed. Let me go in my bag, get my wand of the forest. And that is now complete. So, give it a click. We have coal seeds. These are, of course, 111. So we're going to plant those over there to grow. And since I have it handy, I hit it with some magical fertilizer, get it up to full. And now we can do copper seeds. So 4 copper essence, 4 weak essence, and an essence seed. And in a few seconds we'll have a copper seed. There we go. Give it a click. And we have ourselves copper seeds. Now, we look in our book. We can turn in the coal seed quest. And for this I'm going to take, now normally I always said that I would take the weak essence as opposed to the plant essence. In the case of these particular quests, I'm going to take the plant essence, because that's going to help us move on to the next set of quests. So again, for the copper seeds, I'm going to take the essence of copper. If we look at the iron seed recipe, we'll see it actually needs an essence of copper as part of the recipe. So because I took the copper essence as a reward, I can now go straight on to the iron essence, which is 3 iron essence, copper essence, 4 weak essence, and the seed, and of course finished off with a piece of living rock like any runic altar recipe. So we'll go plant that. And go on to tin seeds, but first let's turn in that iron seed. Again, I'm going to pick essence of iron, and the reason for that is that the tin seeds require an essence of iron. So 3 tin essence, 1 essence of iron, 4 weak essence, and an essence seed. That'll give us our tin seeds. We now have seeds for all of the base level metals. This will just take a few seconds to finish. And now we have our tin seeds. Again, we'll go turn in the quest. And I'm going to take the essence of tin. Now, there is an additional seed quest right here. It's for Nether essence. This quest unlocks when you go to the Nether. It's just like these, where it has this repeatable quest which gets you some Nether essence, and then once you get enough of that, you can make a Nether seed. I mentioned episode or two ago that I had gone into the mines and found some goodies. Well, one of the goodies I found was some essence of Nether, which means I don't actually have to do that repeatable quest to get Nether seeds, but Nether seeds do require 2 buckets of lava in order to craft. I can't make buckets yet, but once my iron grows up, I'll be able to do that. In the meantime, what I can do is I can begin unlocking the next tier of seeds. This requires the regular infusion stone. If we look at this recipe, it requires a tin essence, a copper essence, a coal essence, a dye essence, and an iron essence. Well, I have a tin and a coal and an iron and a copper. Over here I happen to have a dye essence. And then 4 weak essences. And we'll be able to craft up the stone. This is going to take a bit more mana than the previous craftings did, so it's going to take a little longer. And my plants have started to spread out nicely, so let's start looking at those while we wait for that recipe to finish. So what do we got here? I'm going to guess that that's our 111. And 2 2-1s. And oh, looks like we got 111s. So this must be a 2 2-2. Oh, okay. So we'll come back here, replant our crop sticks. The 2 2 2-2-1s, one of the 1-1s, and this guy can go in the trash. And let's finish this off. We got the regular infusion stone. And if we look, we're going to get some blaze rods and some regular essence. The main use of the regular infusion stone is to convert your weak essence, 4 weak essence, to 1 regular essence. And the regular essence is used to craft the next tier of seeds. We already have skeleton seeds completed because we chose those as a reward. In this case, I'm going to take the regular essence. I don't need essence of skeleton. I have it growing in the garden. Now, the next set of seeds we're going to want to craft are the elemental seeds: water, fire, air, and earth. And the experience seeds, now these all require a Tanya rune of some kind, which means before we can go on to those, we're going to have to wait until the iron has grown in, so that we have it available to create runes from. So let me get these guys up to 10 10 10 and planted in the garden. I made some room for them, and I will be right back. Alright, now I'm back. I managed to get all of those plants spread up to 10 10 10 and planted in the garden. I got a whole bunch of iron and copper. I converted a bunch of that to mana steel. I also went and made a couple of buckets and got some lava, so now we should be able to actually make the nether seeds that we couldn't make before because we were missing the ability for buckets. So why don't we get that going. Now, we still need to go to the nether fairly soon. One of the things we have to create is runes of fire and for that, we're going to need to get to the Nether. We don't have to do much there, but we do have to go. So let's just wait for this to craft up. Shouldn't take very long. Get it planted. Something I forgot to mention earlier is I'm sure you've noticed I did start using a texture pack at the suggestion of one of the watchers. I'm not a huge fan of Let's Players who use texture packs. I think it's confusing. I know a lot of other people feel the same way, but this is the faithful pack. It's pretty close to vanilla textures. I'm pretty sure that nobody's going to get very confused and not be able to recognize items. But if people do have a problem with it, please comment, and I will be happy to change back to a more default texture scheme. Now, the next thing I'd like to do is let's make some Britannia runes. So I've put the stuff we're going to need for that aside here. And we're going to make an earth rune. Just wait for that to craft up. And let's make another set. There we go. Alright, so we got some earth runes here. Next thing is, why don't we make a whole bunch of mana runes? We're going to need these runes to make the elemental seeds, and we're also going to need them for some of the quests and such. Mana runes are simply mana steel and a mana pearl. There's our first mana rune. I'm going to want a few of these, so I'm just going to craft several while we're here. And this is the last mana rune we're going to make, just so we got some on hand. A lot of things that use them. The altar recipes don't actually consume the runes you use in them, but any other place you use a rune, it does. Okay. So another thing we're gonna need to progress is we need feathers, and for feathers we need eggs. Eggs can be made on the runic altar. A mana rune, rune of earth, mandrake seed, pasture seed, and normal seeds. So I have a rune of earth, I have a mana rune, If I come over here, I have mandrake, normal seed, pasture seed, and of course you always got to finish these off with a living rock. So throw those up there. That should get us some eggs. We get our runes back, we get 16 eggs, and if I go look in our quest book, that did finish a quest, which is this guy right here. That's going to give us another 16 eggs. So that gives us 32 chances to get a chicken, and because I made the mana steel, I get this. I'm gonna pick let's pick some Daybloom, and that gets me some more hydrangeas and a full mana tablet, which is kind of nice. So we'll put those back. I'll throw the Dayblooms in here. Don't really need them right now. As far as these eggs, what am I going to do with these eggs? Well, I set up a simple little bit of automation here. So what I have is I have a standard cauldron with a hopper underneath feeding into a chest. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop up here and we'll just throw the eggs in there. Hopefully get a chicken. There we go, we got a baby chicken. Hopefully I can get more than one. I think I got 2. Okay, so now we'll just wait for those guys to grow up. That'll get us some more eggs, get us the feathers we need. Once grown, the chickens are not going to be able to hop out of this cauldron, so they will just be stuck there in the cauldron. And for the most part, that hopper is going to pick up anything that they drop and put it into the chest. So it's a pretty effective way of having a little tiny chicken farm without chickens running all over your base. While we wait for that, I guess I'm gonna go for some upgrades real quick here. So let's grab this and let's get ourselves some mana steel armor going on. Chestplate, helmet, boots, and finally legs. These are significantly better than the iron because they won't get damaged. As long as you have a mana tablet in your inventory, it will soak up all the damage that you would have taken otherwise. And let's go drop this iron armor off here. That's... And I also want to upgrade my tools because right now my flint tools are a fairly low mining level. Soon I'm going to need like bronze or copper mining level to pick up some of the stuff I'm going to be dealing with. So since I don't have a smeltery, the easiest way to get up to bronze level at this point is by using mana steel tools. As you can see, it's a mining level of bronze. So we're just gonna do that, and get ourselves a shovel and an axe And while we're at it, we'll get ourselves a pair of Mana Steel Shears and Mana Steel Grafter. Now again, these all take from the mana tablet to prevent from being damaged, so we shouldn't really ever have to repair them as long as we keep mana handy. So there we go. We got our upgraded armor. We got our upgraded tools. Part of this is gearing up to prep to go to the Nether. Part of it is simply just it's better than what we had available. At this point, we can make a rune of water. Air is the only one that we need something from the chickens for, and of course the rune of fire we can't make until after we've gone to the Nether. My inventory is starting to get pretty full, but I think we're doing okay. That, and there we go. That's 4 of those pretty quick. So now we've got a bunch of the runes we needed. We still need a feather in order to progress with the, this is the ingredients here, the rune of air. Otherwise, we're looking pretty good. How's that Nether essence doing? So you're definitely 1 down 1. Let's get you guys analyzed. Now getting this Nether essence plant just a little bit early doesn't really help out a lot. The big thing that it does is it limits what we need to get in the Nether. A lot of times your first trip to the Nether, you really need to get a lot of netherrack and things like that. In this case, I think that largely the only Nether resource I'm really going to need to worry about is maybe some glowstone. I might just go back later for glowstone. Also, I set up some automation of things. So, if I need sand, I can make it here. And just by having some buckets of water in my inventory and throwing some cracked sand in here, and then it'll use the buckets of water from my inventory and the cracked sand in the chest and turn it into sand. I also automated the creation of magical fertilizer and all the various things that go into it, with the exception of the floral fertilizer, and for that I just take some of this bone meal over here and toss it in the mana pool over there. I automated the creation of magical food. Not that there's much to it. And just this is kind of a temporary table for any recipe that I'm working on, and I just want to save for the time being. Now, so it's just some kind of simple first level automation. But it certainly makes it easier to grow these plants a bit faster. Because magical fertilizer certainly helps with that. Me Toss some more coal over here. Get some mana generation going. But yes, as I was saying, you know, when you look at the uses of the Nether essence, you know, it's Nether quartz, Nether brick, soul sand, Nether rack, heat sand, tainted soil. So pretty much all of the basic Nether resources except for glowstone. These guys are just chilling. Hopefully they grow to adulthood soon, and I'll be able to get something good from them. I'm gonna make I am going to make a somewhat useful item, which is the Rod of the Lands. I think that's supposed to be, it might be diagonal. Yeah, Rod of the Lands. This is a really simple item. Basically, it places dirt. It uses mana from mana pool in your inventory and just places dirt. There's a similar item for cobblestone. This is not a great way, but it's a way to get some dirt. Once we get the earth essence, we'll be able to create dirt from that. But this is just a simple way to get some dirt, and then if we craft a rod of the shifting crusts, which we don't have a runa sloth yet, so we can't craft it yet, but this will actually be able to place infinite dirt as long as you have a Rod of the Lands in your inventory. So that will allow us to very quickly redo the landscape in something more palatable than the cracked sand. So I think that this is probably a good wrapping up point. We're waiting for our chickens to grow up. We're waiting for our nether ore to grow. Next episode, we'll probably look into some of the many quests that were just unlocked by getting iron and various other metals. You know, we've unlocked several Botania quests. We have unlocked some quests that'll lead us into going to the Nether and being able to craft our smelteries and pipes and stuff, which will help us with our automation. We've unlocked a whole bunch more of the storage quests, as well as some that'll get us some tools that can make our life a little easier. And we of course have all of the egg quests to start rebuilding the living things that used to live in the world. Getting into the witchery quests and such. So next episode, that's probably what we'll be looking into, is working out some of those quests and getting running with that stuff, as well as prepping for going to the Nether. So until next time, everyone have a good one.